Hey guys, Dude Legit City here. Today in the game of Auction Not Included, we're going to be going over a method to deal with the meteors that rain down on top of your planetoid. If you're playing just the base game, these meteors will be on the top of the map, waiting for you to breach the surface. If you're playing with the Spaced Out DLC, there'll be no meteor showers on the top of the starter planetoid in either the Spaced Out or the Classic Start. Instead, the meteor showers will only occur in certain situations such as opening the tear or on certain planetoids. But regardless of if you're playing with or without the DLC, we're going to be going over what I think is going to be the best method to deal with the meteor showers, as well as the regolith that's created by them. That method, and the topic of today's video, is the Door Crusher design. The Door Crusher design utilizes a horizontally placed mechanized airlock and relies on the gravitational pull to delete the regolith that lands inside the open contraption. As described, this will actually delete the regolith from the game. You will not be able to use the regolith in any shape or form. So if you want a method to harvest and use the hot regolith afterwards, this design is not for you. Although any debris created during the impact on the bunker doors will still be usable, the mineable regolith is the only thing that disappears. The Crusher is also designed to not block light or vision of space, so you could safely run your solar panels and space scanners underneath, with the exception being that the doors will close during the meteor shower. This design is also powerless and runs purely on automation and doesn't require any cooling, though you want to always power your bunker doors. For this design, steel is going to be required since bunker doors could only be built with steel, and we're going to need bunker doors to protect ourselves from the meteors and to let us scan space or launch rockets. I recommend building the bunker doors at the very top of the map, as close to the vertical limit in red as possible. Usually this is done because you want as much space as possible to build rockets, and those only build going up, especially in the late game where you can build some absurdly long rockets. When running the automation and power wires through, please be mindful of the materials you choose for this. Lead wires will melt due to the heat from the meteors and potentially cause some headaches. Areas with rockets flying through should also have the wires made from metals with higher melting points. After you set up the bunker doors, you want the crusher design right underneath. Normally I have it right under around 5 tiles below. The crusher design is simple. We'll start with the base of the design, which are going to be either airflow or mesh tiles. Although you want to choose a tile that doesn't block light, there is an additional requirement for the space scanner, which is that the tiles also have to allow gas to flow through in order for the scanner to function efficiently. Next, you want to start building the mechanized airlocks. For the door crusher to function properly, the mechanized airlocks have to be rotated to be flat or horizontal to the ground. Regolith doesn't fall into the door standing upright, but for whatever reason falls into a rotated door. Leave gaps that are 2 bunker doors wide so that your rockets are able to launch and land properly. All of the automation is going to be based off the space scanner building. I won't go too much in detail, but the building detects either incoming objects or rockets and needs to have clear vision of space in order for it to function. The general rule of thumb when placing this building is to have it 15 tiles underneath the bunker tiles, and at least 15 tiles away from either edge of the map to get optimal scanning. Each scanner could only reach 17% under perfect conditions, and in this build we'll only need one, so let's try to hit that 17%. From the scanner, you're going to have one automation wire come out and split it into 2 at the very end. One will feed into a NOT gate, which then feeds into all of the bunker doors that you plan to open. This signals the bunker doors are closed when the meteor shower is detected, and to open when the shower is not occurring. The second split from the space scanner will feed into and past a buffer gate and into an XOR gate. That buffer gate will feed into that same XOR gate, with the output of the XOR gate feeding into a filter that then feeds into an AND gate. The second signal of the AND gate is going to be based off of a timer sensor, and that AND gate will then feed into a NOT gate before feeding into all of the mechanized airlocks. Now let's go over the automation settings. The filter gate should be set to 60 seconds. This filter delays the door crusher to only start up after the regolith has already fallen down from the bunker doors. This value should never change. Next, we have the timer sensor. That should be set to 4 green and 4 red. The timer controls the door crushing sequence, and the values should not be changed as well. Lastly, we have the buffer gate. That should be set to 90. The buffer controls the overall uptime of the crusher design, and if you want to increase the number of door loops, you want to add an additional 8 seconds to the initial 90 for each additional loop you want to add in. On the default 90, the crusher will open and close 3 times. From here, there's one last bit of automation that only affects players who's playing with the Spaced Out DLC. For the base game players, the crusher design is complete. The reason for this is because of the change to rocketry. In the base game, rockets actually ignore the status of the bunker door and will land when it needs to. If it happens to be closed, the rockets will forcefully land, destroying the bunker doors in its process. Because of this, the vanilla rockets typically have a dedicated space scanner that controls the bunker doors that the rockets travel through. However, in the Space Stealth DLC, this changes. Rockets in the DLC will actually check for the status of the door before landing, and if it happens to be closed, the rockets will wait right outside of the planetoid. While this step is optional, it does lower the chance of a meteor sneaking in while your rockets are landing. Just like in vanilla, you're gonna need that same dedicated space scanner, but before you actually plug that into the bunker doors, you're going to want to connect it to an AND gate. The second signal that feeds into this AND gate is going to be coming from the automation line from the meteor shower space scanner that feeds out into the other bunker doors. This creates an automation line that only opens when there's no meteor shower. If the rocket happens to land and coincidentally a meteor shower occurs and the doors start closing, the rocket will be able to sneak in and not cause any damage to the doors. But there you have it. That is going to be the door crusher setup, fully automatic and powerless setup that allows you to have vision of space anytime there's no meteor shower. You get to be secure and don't have to worry about the regolith piling up. So if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys.